19th, 2026.
Good evening, everyone. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. If you would please go ahead and acknowledge your presence. We have 15 present, 1 absent. Mrs. Deininger is absent. Mr. Whalen, would you please lead us in prayer, and Ms. Williams, the Pledge of Allegiance.
All right, great. Lord God Almighty, thank you for this opportunity to come before the people of Stephenson County to serve them. Let's keep that in mind as we debate and discuss and make decisions, and certainly keep the best interest of the folks in this community in mind. So I thank you for this opportunity. May you bless our time together tonight. And I love you and praise you and thank you in Jesus' name.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is there an approval of the agenda? By Mr. Frick, is there a second? By Mr. Diddens, any discussion on the agenda? Seeing none, if you would please vote for the approval of the agenda. And that passes unanimously. Is there any item on the consent agenda that any board member would like to have removed? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda? By Mr. Jogerst, is there a second? By Mrs. Hayes. Any discussion on the consent agenda? Seeing none, if you would please vote for the approval of the consent agenda. That also passes unanimously. Thank you. Is there any public comment? If there is, please step up to the podium. You would have 3 minutes. If you would please identify yourself, and once you do so, the clock will begin. That is right in front of you up in the ceiling.
I'm Karen Rivers. Emails were sent the past couple days to you board members regarding the solar site built next door to me called Zimmerman North. Within this info are maps labeled 1 and 4. Map 1 shows the approved 2 megawatt site with 10.23 acres of panels within 24 acres. Map 4 shows that what was built was not approved. It is a 2.58 megawatt site with approximately 13 acres of panels and extends outside of its allowed boundaries. It is approximately 30% larger than what you approved. On October 2022, without a ZBA hearing approval or county board approval, somehow Beth Henning Williams approved a new permit application for additional 3.0216 acres of panels be added. There were numerous equipment changes involved. Per ordinance, this is not allowed. Beth tells me it only looks bigger. When I last spoke 2 months ago at a board meeting, I'd mentioned that numerous times I'd asked for a copy of the March 14, 2018 ZBA hearing audio recording. I eventually did a FOIA, and in the FOIA return, Beth wrote, "After a diligent search, no records responsive to my request exist. Since last speaking here, the audio now does exist." In June of 25, I submitted a FOIA requesting a list of denied solar sites within our county. On the return, Beth wrote, "We do not have this information as no solar sites have been denied." Knowing this was not true, I mentioned the denied Tyfer site. On November 12, 25, Beth called and asked should the toxic junipers at the site be cut down. Would that resolve the issue? I said it'd solve half the problem and asked what would be planned to replace them as a concealing border. She replied they would not be replaced. I told her that's not acceptable. Now she states in an email dated December 17, 25, and I quote, The trees that are currently planted will stay on site. No more discussion will take place. How immature is that? Nothing has been resolved. It is not ended. There are landscaping plans and costs available to replace the toxic junipers. That's 4 separate times where information has been hidden. In the email sent to you today, there's an Illinois Department of Ag Impact Mitigation Agreement. It shows the site was not built as approved or permitted. Notice also the updated environmental studies are required. I would ask that you check the veracity of persons who have presented info to you. Very quickly reference the quarry next door. Notice it references quarry activities.
Mrs. Rivers,
He is not in compliance.
I apologize, but your 3 minutes are up. Is there any other public comment this evening? Okay, seeing none, we will move to executive sessions 5 ILCS 120/2C11, litigation when an action against, affecting, or on behalf of the particular body has been filed and is pending before a court or administrative tribunal, or when the public body finds an action is probable or imminent. Is there a motion to go into executive session? By Mr. Newton, is there a second? By Mrs. Hayes. Any discussion on going into executive session? Seeing none, you may go ahead and vote for the approval of executive session. All right, Madam Clerk, let me get your microphone on. Would you please take roll? Let me get you turned here. Can you press your button, please? Thank you. Go ahead, Madam Clerk.
Samuel Newton.
Aye.
Luann Hayes. Patrick Busker. William Hadley.
Yes.
Dale Diddens.
Aye.
Lynette Williams.
Aye.
Adam Matero.
Aye.
Larry Jogers. Scott Helms.
Aye.
Jackie DeMeester. Nicole Baker. Steve Frick.
Yes.
Brian Brandt.
Aye.
Tim Whalen.
Yes, ma'am.
Ronnie Bush.
Aye.
15 ayes, 0 nay, motion carries.
All right, very good, thank you. Okay, we are now out of executive session. No action was taken. We will move on to the next agenda item, action out of executive session, approval of a notice of exercise of management option. Oh, yes. Can we please let the public back in? I apologize. Thank you. Okay, we are out of executive session. No action was taken. We'll move on to the next item on the agenda, action out of executive session. Approval of notice of exercise of management option with Freeport Nursing LLC for the Stephenson Nursing Center. Mrs. Baker.
Approve or otherwise accept a notice of exercise of management option received from Freeport Nursing LLC regarding the Stephenson Nursing Center and authorize the county board chairman to sign the acknowledgement page.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Jogerst. Is there any discussion? Going to attempt to do the vote for the approval of the motion. You may go ahead and vote. And that appears to pass with 2 no votes. I believe Mr. Hadley and Mrs. Williams voted no. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, that does pass. We'll now move on to new business, approval of resolution for the appointment of Christopher Shockey, Regional Superintendent of the Carroll, Joe Davis, and Stephenson County Regional Office of Education to fill a vacancy created by the retirement of Aaron Mercier. In your packet, there is information regarding that. Mr. Frick. Motion to approve by Mr. Frick. Is there a second by Mrs. Hayes? Is there any discussion on this?
I'm sorry.
Let me get your microphone on, Mr. Hadley. Go ahead. Oh,
I'm sorry. Is it on now?
nope, give me 1 second. All right, there you go.
He was assisting Aaron, right?
Correct.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, he's been with them for quite a long time.
I believe he's been in the office approximately 5 years.
Yeah. So, okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions or discussion? Seeing none, you may go ahead and vote for the approval. And that passes with 1 no vote from Mr. Whalen, I believe. Moving on to the next item, approval of letter of support for the Greater Freeport Partnership's application to the Small Business Credit Initiative Technical Assistance Program. There is also information in your packet regarding that. What is the pleasure of the committee, of the board? Motion by Mr. Brandt to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Bush. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, you may go ahead and vote for the approval of that. And that passes with 1 no vote from Mrs. Demeester, I believe. We'll now move on to the Greater Freeport Partnership Quarterly Presentation presented by Andrea Schultz-Winter. If you would please come up to the podium. And Nicole Haas. Sorry. Thank you for coming, ladies.
Thank you for having us. All right. As she gets that situated, we're going to go ahead and get started. Good evening and Happy New Year to you all. Tonight's presentation is going to be similar in format to previous presentations, but we're going to focus on some efforts in the last quarter that we did around small business support. However, in the quarterly report that I think was linked in your agenda tonight, and Nicole will be passing out hard copy packets in just a second, there's a full digest of all of our activities organized around our strategic goals. So, before we dive into that, I just wanted to call your attention to something that's on the cover of our quarterly report. The partnership is now again fully staffed. We were able to add Leslie Mastroianni and Mercedes Joyner to the partnership. Mercedes is our new membership director and started 2 weeks ago. Leslie started in October as our economic development manager. So we welcome them to the team, and that's not new positions, those are just filling existing vacant positions that we had. Any luck? We're going to go ahead and continue moving forward. So as you all know, small businesses are critical to our economic climate here, and we're going to move forward. So small business health is critical to our local economic environment, and we know that because of inflationary pressures as well as changes in consumer sentiment that 2025 was very difficult for some small businesses. So we're going to talk about some things that we did to support small businesses through a local shopping campaign, continuing to have conversations with all of our employers, both small businesses and large, that workforce shortages are still of an utmost importance. So some connecting employers with talent, and then some grant support that we supplied to small businesses in last year. So we're going to switch roles here for just a second, and Nicole's going to touch on some local shopping campaign. Do you need to pass it?
We're good. As Andrea mentioned, this is especially an important time of year for our retail sector, and we know that, you know, a lot of businesses do approximately 50% of their retail in the fourth quarter. So to increase that, we added a multi-channel media campaign. It was billboards, some streaming TV, social media presence, radio, trying to think of others, but really tried to run the gamut, because we know in this day and age, people look for their news and ideas of where to shop in multiple locations. In addition to that, we promote our partnership cash campaign. If that's like a lot of chamber bucks campaign. Instead of buying an Amazon gift card or a Visa gift card, buy a partnership cash, and it can be used at 40 different locations throughout Stephenson County. And then we know those dollars stay local. When you give that gift, you're not just going to spend it online or somewhere outside of the area. We did also do a county-wide promotion this year with 23 businesses. It was a postcard format. We didn't actually mail it, but it was a printed card, and we took it to all of the participating locations to help spur additional growth in especially some of the newer stores that people might not be aware of. So if you picked it up at Route 73 Brew and Chew, you might have found out about the Langley Company, or vice versa, something along those lines. We also provided support, promotional support, as well as planning for Mistletoe Walk, which was right here in downtown Freeport on November 22nd. We thank the county and the courthouse for allowing us to put the tree here on the steps. It's always a wonderful sight to see when you come downtown. And we had new events this year, Living Windows. We had 6 different businesses downtown participate in that, and was a great addition. We hope that continues to grow. As well as using the Pocket Park. The Karcher Block Pocket Park was the site for Santa Claus this year. You could write letters, visit Santa, and then we had a free s'mores station there as well. Lena's hometown Christmas was hit with quite different weather than we had here for Mistletoe Walk. It was extremely cold that weekend, but they still had great attendance for their lighted parade. They had made some different huts this year to bring out different attendance. It looked a little different for them this year than it has in past years, but they still had great attendance for their event as well. And then another new event this year was the Holiday Hustle. That was to promote last-minute shopping in downtown Freeport. There were 9 participating businesses, and what we did different with that, since we were looking at last-minute shopping, is we asked each participating retailer to pick 2 items that they had in store to kind of spur ideas of what you could buy at all of these local shops. So just some new ideas that we had, and continuing on other great ideas in the past for the fourth quarter for our local retailers.
Moving on and kind of pivoting a little bit here, as you might have seen in all of our monthly reports and previous quarterly reports, we're talking about some labor statistics and sharing some information with you. And part of that was because I had seen a lot of comments made to me around not having good jobs available here in Stephenson County. And again, I'm not going to get up here to debate what is a good job, but I think I always turn to the data. And is that really true? Because when I visit a lot of employers, that's not what I hear. They have open positions. They've had many open positions for a long time that are skilled and pay a very decent wage. So this information is a little bit dated, and I ask for your patience. The government shut down, as you might remember, last year, and so some of that information around unemployment is a little stalled. So we're looking at September of 2025 information here, and just drawing your attention to, in that month, there was 921 individuals in Stephenson County who were unemployed and looking for work. Our unemployment rate was very comparable to the month before, very comparable to the state of Illinois, and it was slightly higher in the city of Freeport, which is typically common. In that same month, there were over 1,300 unique jobs that were posted in Stephenson County from 327 different employers. In that month, the median wage that was advertised was a little over $35 an hour, which equates to around $73 or $73,000 a year in the salary. Just to kind of put that in context, a median household income for Stephenson County in 2025 is just shy of $62,000 a year. I'm not going to list the top employers who are posted here, nor the positions. They've kind of been rotating through and just changing spots, which are in the top 10 every single month that I get this report. So I'm just sharing this to you so that you have information, and as you hear that out in your communities that you serve and out when you're talking with your constituents, that you can speak to some of those inaccuracies around the perception. And I encourage you that if you know of people who are looking for work, the Workforce Connections, which is located in the 524 building here in downtown Freeport, they help individuals find employment. They help them with resumes. They help them search for jobs. That's what they're geared to do. You're always welcome to refer them to my office or our office, but we will really refer them over to the Workforce Connection. They're skilled in that. But I will get off my soapbox here, but just to have a little data to understand why we find it so important to spend time and energy in these following activities here: Manufacturing Day, Career Day, as well as the Ag Expo at Highland. Really understanding that the biggest export we have out of Stephenson County should not be our graduates. We need to make sure that they have an understanding of the great career opportunities that are offered here by local employers, the educational pathways that exist to get them there. So just some facts on the page. Again, the partnership participates in these, and we help make sure that our employers know about these opportunities for them to get in front of their future workforce. And last but not least, I did mention that we were able to offer some grant support. The state of Illinois does not always offer grants specifically to small businesses. However, at the beginning of 2025, they did announce that they were offering just that, a small business infrastructure grant. And this was geared really towards small businesses. So we're thinking under 15 employees. We held a workshop to help businesses understand the process for application, what it is like to go through a state granting process. We had 22 businesses attend. From those 22, we worked directly with 5 businesses to help them apply for these grants. And from that, 3 businesses were awarded. In total, grant award from all 3 businesses is $750,000 are coming back to Stephenson County and these businesses so that they can grow and expand right here. We are continued and committed to working with these businesses as they administer their grants over a 2-year cycle to expend the funds, but we were happy to play a pivotal role in helping these businesses obtain this funding. Again, this funding, if it not won by our businesses, would have been awarded to other businesses throughout the state of Illinois. And looking ahead, small business support does not end. It will be ramping up kind of more specifically in our base camp program, which will kick off this coming Tuesday on January 20th. We still have some seats available, so if you know anybody who is interested, please have them contact our office. Again, we are continuing to work with our educational partners, Freeport High School, as well as the Foundation for Northwest Illinois, in implementation of the CEO program. In simple explanation, that is almost like a base camp program for high school juniors and seniors, and that will kick off in fall of 2026. And last but not least, we are in the process, thank you so much for the earlier agenda item for the letter of support. We will be submitting that letter of support along with the full grant next week. If awarded, that would allow us to expand our small business support services. Happy to answer any questions that you might have. Thank you for your attention.
Any questions? Okay, thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
If you give me 1 second.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You bet. Okay, we will move on to the chairman's report. I will try to be brief. I don't recall if you mentioned this, Andrea, but GFP's annual dinner and awards event is February 5th of this year. The county does have a table. There are 3 seats available for the table. Mr. Diddens, I've already got your RSVP in. 5 p.m. social hour, 5:45 p.m. dinner. So if you are interested in attending, please let me know. Also, the next UCCI meeting is scheduled for January 26th in Springfield. Mr. Newton is attending on behalf of the county the NACO Legislative Conference, February 21st through the 24th in Washington, D.C. Thank you for doing that. The UCCI Legislative Conference is scheduled for April 14th and 15th in Springfield. That's a good event to attend if you have any interest in that. And then the 2026 Leadership Academy program is scheduled for May 31st, June 2nd, and June 28th through the 30th. Mr. Montereau represented the county this past year. I'm sure if you have questions, he'd be glad to answer. Mrs. Baker, Mr. Bush, myself, Mr. Newton, we've all attended that in the past. It's a worthwhile endeavor if you have the time to do that. Those are usually in Champaign. I think that's where the last one was, so. Okay, with that, we'll move on to appointments. We have 2. The first is the approval of the reappointment of Andrea Schultz-Winter to the Quad City Regional Economic Development Authority. And the other is the approval of the appointment of Leslie Brown to the 911 Board. How would we like to handle these? Together, separately? Pardon? Separately? Okay, very good. Is there a motion to approve Andrea Schultz-Winter to the Quad City Regional Economic Development Authority? Motion made by Mr. Bush, second by Mr. Diddens. Any discussion? Seeing none, you may go ahead and vote for the approval of that motion, please. And that passes with 1 no vote by Mrs. Demeter. The next is the approval of the appointment of Leslie Brown to the 911 Board. Motion to approve by Mr. Jogers, second by Mr. Busker. Is there any discussion on this appointment? Seeing none, you may go ahead and vote for that motion, please. And that passes unanimously. Thank you. We'll move on now to action items and information from the standing committees. First up, Mr. Whalen for Finance. I believe you have 3 action items, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The first one, resolution authorizing multi-year property tax advance payment of the nursing facility real estate tax levy. We did a portion of that last month. After doing so, we were able to figure out that due to the way this is structured, we're able to borrow the whole amount of the levy instead of just 85%. And so we had additional $225,000 that the Finance Committee approved to be borrowed against the future tax levies in order to pay as many of the bills, outstanding bills as we can. So I would so move at this time to approve this resolution as stated.
Thank you. Is there a second? Second, Mr. Brandt. Is there any discussion? Can you press your button, please? Go ahead, Mrs. Williams.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman.
Can you speak into your microphone? Thank you.
Wondering if you've paid more bills that were due, from what I'm understanding. Okay. Are we going to get an updated list of what's still outstanding?
I hope by next month, once they go through the payment process, after this is approved, that we'll see an updated list that everybody will see that hopefully before the end of this month.
Do we have
Yes.
any plans to, how the rest of them are going to be paid?
Say that again?
Any outstanding balances that were not covered this time through?
There likely will be, yes.
There will be a plan in place?
We will address that as we see what is left. I don't know exactly, we tried to factor it as close as we could at finance, but because of this additional capital and the fact that they're still negotiating with some of these vendors to get reduced payments if we pay it in full, there's still a little bit of that back and forth, so we don't really have a final tally yet.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions? Okay, you may go ahead and vote for the approval of that motion by Mr. Whalen. That passes unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Whalen. Your next item, please.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have a sale of a surplus property, parcel number 18143143601, which will bring this back into the tax rolls, and I would make a motion to approve this resolution as presented.
Thank you. Is there a second to his motion? Second. By Mr. Diddens, thank you. Is there any discussion on the motion to approve? Seeing none, you may go ahead and vote for the motion to approve. That also passes unanimously. Thank you. Your final item, Mr. Whalen.
Mr. Chairman, last month we did an RFP for countywide shredding services. We had one vendor apply for that, and I would move that and after the analysis, it looked like it was a reasonable bid, according to the sheriff and other sources. So I'm going to move to approve that as presented.
Thank you. Is there a second? Mr. Jogerst, discussion on the motion to approve. Seeing none, you may vote for the motion to approve, please. That passes unanimously. Any other information out of your committee, sir?
Not at this time. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. We'll move on to public property and safety. Mr. Bush, no action items. Any information out of your committee? All right, thank you, sir. On to administration. Mr. Jogerst, no action items. Information out of your committee?
There wasn't a whole lot. We talked about an AI policy probably coming next month. However, everybody that was there had a lot of work on their plate. They're getting it done on time, and I believe they're doing a very good job. So I really appreciate what they're doing for the county. So thank you.
All right, thank you. On to court services. Mr. Diddens, I believe you have one action item tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, we approved, we have a resolution for an appellate prosecutor, and I would make a motion that we pass this. It's $21,000. It's an annual expense, and it is budgeted. And if anybody has any questions, Mr. Larson will take care of that. So I would make a motion that we approve this.
Thank you. And there's a second by Mr. Busker. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, you may go ahead and vote for the motion to approve. That passes unanimously. Any other items or information you'd like to discuss out of your committee?
Nothing else, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Diddens. We'll move on to the Nursing Center. Mrs. Baker, no action items, any information?
Yes, so census is at 70. As of last Thursday, they are fully staffed with their own staff, so no agency usage. The corporate team remains in the building and available at all hours, and still waiting on the union to respond back to the red line contract.
Very good. I would just add, I think they've done a fantastic job with the limited amount of time that they've had, and we're very fortunate to have them managing the facility. Any other information?
No.
All right, very good. Thank you. We'll move on to Planning and Development. Mr. Frick, no action items. Is there any information out of your committee, sir?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have no action items. I just did want to mention, just for informational purposes, that the zoning department did bring into our general fund $108,000 and some change this year for all of the permits that's taken place in our county. They work real hard. Mrs. Williams and her staff work very hard to make sure that the zoning rules are followed and that we have safe houses out there for everybody to live in. So that's all.
Very good. Thank you. Move on to Public Works. Mr. Brandt, it appears you have two action items.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Can you press your microphone button, please? Thank you, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, the first one is HT 2601. It's a federal participation agreement to seal coat Orangeville Road. It's part of our pavement preservation program. This seal coating will be done by our own staff, with our own equipment. It is a 5.67 stretch of road, and it will go all the way to Orangeville. The project total is $282,000. 80% of that is paid with federal funds, so that leaves just $56,400 for us. With that, I move to approve this resolution.
Thank you very much. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Modero. Any discussion? Mr. Frick, would you press your button, please? Go ahead, sir.
Mr. Brandt, just one question. Why doesn't it go all the way to Orangeville Road?
It goes all the way to Route 26. Is that correct?
Mr. Rasmussen, would you mind coming up and educating us?
Actually, it's 0.3 of a mile east.
Oh, it's beyond?
It goes beyond. I'm sorry.
Thank you. I see that now too in the description.
We got momentum now. You might as well keep coming.
We're doing a cold place recycling on Orangeville Road, and it starts at McConnell Road, goes east. I don't remember exactly where the east limit is, but it's a section of road that needs cold and place recycling. So that was part of the first project. Now we're doing a seal coat. You have to double seal that. So we're doing a double seal over that, and then that 5 inches fluffs up the edge. So we're doing an aggregate shoulder wedge along the shoulder there.
Thank you very much.
Anything else for Mr. Rasmussen?
I'll wait for the next one, too.
There you go. Good idea. All right, you may go ahead and vote for the motion to approve. Hopefully. I'm pressing it. Okay, Madam Clerk, would you please take roll on that?
Yes. Brian Brandt.
Aye.
Tim Whalen.
Yes.
Ronnie Bush.
Aye.
Samuel Newton.
Aye.
Luann Hayes. Patrick Busker. William Hadley.
Yes.
Dale Diddens.
Aye.
Lynette Williams. Adam Modero. Larry Jogers. Scott Helms.
Aye.
Jackie DeMeester. Nicole Baker. Steve Frick.
Yes.
15 A, 0 nay, motion carries.
Thank you very much. Your next item, Mr. Brandt.
Mr. Chairman. Next one is 2602, which is a engineering agreement with Willett Hoffman and Associates. We have various projects in the county this year, bridges and roads, and they will be doing the engineering for those projects. With that, I move to approve.
Thank you. Is there a second? By Mr. Modero. Is there any other discussion? Mr. Hadley, go ahead. Oh, let's try it again, Mr. Hadley. I'm pressing it here. Let's keep trying it. There we go. Thank you.
Dale, I see that we're budgeting 50,000, but not to exceed 100,000 then?
Correct.
And roughly how many projects? It says numerous projects. Are we looking at 10 projects or?
It's about, well, I can give you dollar amount. This last construction season, we did $3.5 million worth of work. This coming season, we've got $6.8 million worth of work. So almost twice as much work as we did last year. And we'll be doing it with one less person. I've got my engineering tech is retiring. He said March, April, May, somewhere in the time frame, but he'll be retiring before we get all of our construction done. So the help we needed before, we'll need even more help.
What would be nice is now the press release to the public, like the city does, and what roads we're doing this year. And, because it looks like we're going to be doing quite a bit of work this year compared to what we've done before, so.
We were very fortunate getting some grants this year and some other supplemental funding. You got a lot of work
You may
going
want to put something out to brag about how we're doing a good job on our roads here in Stephenson County. And I appreciate all the work you do, getting these grants and everything. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hadley. Any other discussion on this? Okay, seeing none, you may go ahead and vote on the motion to approve. Very good. That passes unanimously. Thank you. And thank you, Dale, for coming up.
Anything else?
I think
Thank
we
you,
are
Chairman.
covered. Thank you, sir. Is there a motion to adjourn until February 19th at 6:30 p.m. by Mr. Bush, second by Mrs. Hayes? Any discussion on adjourning? Seeing none, you may go ahead and vote to adjourn. And that passes unanimously. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.